Hello, hi, and welcome to all our hearts and minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We are here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good, the bad, the concerning, or uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, Kimi, our passionate heart,
Yeah.
and me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Alrighty, so we're back again with a new episode,
Mm-hmm.
another week, back to
Yep.
back.
Yep.
So let's just start with our checkup. How are
Yep.
you?
I'm
What's
doing
going on in the
okay.
hood?
Nothing really popping, but sometimes that's a good thing. But
Sometimes
just
that's a very good thing.
right, girl. Sometimes just settling down and having silence and just quiet moments is good. But
Mhm.
overall, the whole week it's all right. I'm getting prepared for this next long weekend. It's going to be Thanksgiving here in Canada, so
Yes,
it's a
Thanksgiving
nice
is coming
long
up.
weekend. Can't wait.
Yeah,
Can't
yep.
wait. And all of the family time, good food. It's gonna be a good one. But how about
Wonder-
you? How are you doing,
Wonderful.
girl?
I am good. I'm looking forward to a trip this week. I'm going to do a short little, I wouldn't call it business, but it's related to work.
Mm-hmm.
So, going to go to Chicago for a work thing. It's a networking thing for Black employees. So I'm looking forward to
Oh,
that.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I guess check out Chi Town. Won't be there long, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
because they're only covering they're only covering one day. But I did
Right?
decide I am staying an extra day to personally on my own dime to just do a little shopping and check out the city.
Yeah, make sure you get some pizza. You know.
Oh yeah, the Chicago deep dish.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
for sure.
Every time I go to Chicago, I have to hit that up. I don't care where it is. Is it deep dish? I'm there. Because they do it well. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay, so everybody is all good in the hood. Everything's
Mm.
good.
This week's episode, we're gonna do a little lime and vibe, shoot the breeze, as some
Yes.
Caribbean people say, some susu, some laba
Mm-hmm.
laba,
Mm-hmm.
and so
Lily
yeah,
boats. Mm-hmm.
lealing. But
Mm-hmm.
basically, we're just gonna have a casual. We're still gonna talk about all the hot topics, but just to keep it a little bit casual and get through
Mm-hmm.
some stuff, and we'll have a little workout after that as well. All
Yeah, it
right.
doesn't always have to be formal. It doesn't
No, no,
always
no,
have to
no,
be
no.
formal, you know?
Yeah,
That's
we're
our
still
style around here, okay? At the Hearts and Minds. That's our style. We like to keep it spicy. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
we're gonna start with something that has the internet, at least Beyonce's internet's ablaze.
Sure
Beyonce's
is.
internets are ablaze because again, Ebony K. Williams with another bomb on the internet. Like
Yep.
my
My girl.
girl.
She had eat
um,
your words. Yes, that's what she had to
I'm
do.
actually gonna try and pull it up because and we'll just play it. Like I feel sometimes you get another
Mm-hmm.
visceral reaction when you hear the actual audio of
And
something.
listeners, check her tone. Listen to her
Oh.
tone. Because that's important in what I'm about to say. Listen to her tone and how she's talking to you. Mm-hmm.
Oh Lord, let's not be biased now.
No, but be up. You have to observe. You have to observe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Well, that's why I wanted to play it again.
Yes. And while you're looking for that,
Mm.
Miss Ebony K is popping again. She has, Beyonce's internet buzzing up in here. She has a lot to say. Um, as of late, Miss Ebony has had a lot to say. She is definitely, trending. Everybody's listening to what she has to say.
Mhm.
And so you got that ready for us to listen to her Miss
Yeah.
Ebony. She
I'm gonna
too
just
much, you
go on
see.
her.
It's too much. She
I,
need to sit down and go do something, practice law, do something. Too
oh
much.
no, my girl has a TV show and everything. She's
Mm.
she's a media mogul. Okay, I have it here, so I'll play it.
Needs to be said out loud is that as Black men age, their desirability increases. Thus, their optionality of women is always expanding. And the exact opposite is true for Black women. Mhm. As we age, doesn't matter how much money we accumulate, our degrees or professional accolades, the reality is that our marriage and partnership market value is depreciating with every passing year. No matter how good we look, no matter how fit we are, men are still seeing primarily our presumed dwindling fertility as a knock against us. And speaking of fertility, that is another reason that I want younger Black women to seek marriage and partnership in college or right after, if that's what they choose. Because the number of college-educated Black men is so low when compared to Black college-educated women that we're all going to be targeting the same small pool of men. And as we heard today, on most campuses, there's like 7 Black women students for every 1 Black man student. Y'all do the math. So here's my advice. If you are a young Black woman in college and you know in your heart and in your head that you want to prioritize family, I suggest that you simultaneously pursue that MRS degree right along with that BA or JD. Because the handful of Black college-age men that actually do desire to get married soon, and they do share that value system, and family is a priority for them too, y'all, that is an incredibly small pool, and it's shrinking as you get older. And by the time you reach my age, 40, you will be faced with different choices relating to life partnership and motherhood. Now, I'm not saying that delaying marriage or motherhood is a bad option, but it's one that comes with its own consequences. And our women deserve to know on the front end of their decision making instead of on the back half.
Okay, so that is the clip in its entirety, and that started. I mean, there's been a lot of follow-up since, but that is the main audio that she did on her show in the Griot. And here's what she says that we need to pay attention. What she says. She says, if that is what you choose, she says, women, if you want a family or you want to get married and you're in college right now and you plan on doing that, then, and that you choose that, you right now have made that decision, then while you're in college, start to be serious about the misses as well as the BA or MA.
Whatever. Oh, please, miss me with it, girl. Like, I can't with her. Ebony, listen, I understand that you're a 40-year-old woman who wants a family, you want kids, you want all these things. But just like how you're telling these young folk, these young girls who are in university or college or whatever, pursuing secondary education, you're telling them that they have to start making a choice from then, but you never made a choice. So your choice was to chase your career. And now you're telling them, oh, well, prepare yourself to do both. You know what? I think you need to step outside of that realm and worry about your own goddamn stuff. Like, honestly, at this point, Ebony, you have shrunk that pool that you're talking about even smaller. Because guess what? You're going out there telling people that you're not going to date the bus driver. You're not going to, he has to own the company. So you yourself are putting restrictions on yourself and love and possibly finding, a husband you can have a child with. And here you are giving advice to these young girls who are pursuing careers. Now, here's the thing. There was a point in time where we weren't allowed to pursue a career. And there is still a time and point where, as Black women, we don't have a chance to put down the armor. We have to get an education because we see that it's the only true way to our success. And unfortunately, like you said, okay, our male counterparts are not where they're at. So one of us needs to be educated. So, hey, it's your choice as to what you want to do. I pursued my education. To be quite honest, I didn't think I had a choice. My mom made it quite clear to me that this is what was going to pop. And I'm glad she did. And I'm glad she pushed me. Now, I have seen people who have waited a very long time to get married because they're pursuing their career. And kudos to them. And if they can find the balance and they can find, have it all, then that's them. I just don't think that the source of the message, I'm sorry, Ebony, you're not can you stop giving relationship advice? Because obviously you're not good at it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, like, come on. Be a mentor in other ways. Do you know what I'm saying? I just think you need to come out of the realm of like relationships and stuff like that. Like, I just don't think you're just causing more havoc than good, like at this point in time, because I feel like she's putting a divide amongst Black people, men and women. And so there's already a divide. We don't need anybody making it wider. And so, if these Black women see that they should get an education, what's wrong with that? What's
No, well,
wrong with that? And I understand what she's saying, that
yeah,
find the balance, right?
yeah.
And know what you want to do with your life. But here's the thing, if your brain doesn't even fully develop until you're 25, right? How am I to know at 24, 23 that I want to start a family? There are some cases where people know. There are some women that know
Mm-hmm.
right off the rip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot that are trying to pursue education to grow as a person and to find out where they want to be and what they want to do. So I don't know, Ebony, I'm on the fence with you. Like, you're coming at people like you're in court. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, the way, the tone in which he talks to people. I think, yeah, you should work on that. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't sound feminine. It doesn't sound like you have any nurturing advice to give to young women. It doesn't sound nurturing. You know what I mean? It almost sounds like I have to make a choice. And I don't think that that's going to speak volumes to a lot of young women. That's all I'm saying. Like, because young women don't want to make the choice. And for the long time, they haven't had to. They can either do this or do that, or be comfortable with not having children, or be comfortable with not getting married. And maybe you at the age of 40, you're a different story. But some people, their career is their child. So I'm just saying, stop
Yeah.
judging people. Stop, like, stop. All your statistics that you're like, you're not in court. Stop, Ebony. Like, go find something else to do. Like, honestly,
So for
that's
me,
how I feel about that.
I think she's coming from a okay, first I'm gonna caveat. At the end of the day, she is a media personality. She is a content creator. So on top of that, there is benefit for something like this to go viral. So I'll start there. So essentially, we have to take everything with a little slight couple grains of salt. But to the actual advice that she is, or what she's saying just in general, and some of the responses, because following that, she did head up to the Breakfast Club. She's friends of the Breakfast Club, so she always has a spot there to address the backlash,
Mm-hmm.
a backlash when needed. And she did, and the host, they're having a lot of visiting hosts. I can't remember. I think her name's Lauren something. I can't remember her first name, but it's a young lady, about 31 years old, and she was kind of the voice for the young women who might be
Mm-hmm.
in her predicament. And I think when they had a conversation, I think when she had the back and forth dialogue, because a young lady did say something about the tone as well, and that is what gets people a little bit hunched up and defensive. And when they had the back and forth conversation, essentially, it does come down to what she literally said. Yes, I agree. There's not a lot of young people. There's a lot of young people like, yeah, I think I want a family, but that's like a family. I want, a husband or whatever, whatever your choice is, and have my kids. But you're never sure. You're not running after that because you're still trying to find yourself. There's like so many things happening in the college years. But essentially, I'm just saying that I think it was coming from a place of, what do they say when you have a hearsay, when you're like, she's looking back and at young women who are focused on their career, and she was somebody who was focused on her career in her 30s, and despite being married, she
Despite,
didn't
let's
have a
put that
family.
in perspective. Yeah. And then there was
And
that.
yeah,
Despite
so
being married,
yeah,
right?
essentially, but
So,
I think there's nothing wrong with the advice, and because she makes it clear, she's not saying you should do that, but she's saying if that is what you want, if you know right now at 25 or 26, when you're just finishing your master's or rounding out your educational career, be on the lookout, and I guess intentional about finding the right partner to do that,
right.
while you're doing that, and like you said, it's supposed to be a balance. We know in real life it's not easy, but I think sometimes, realistically, It's sense. Like
Yeah,
it's not coming
yeah,
off in a bad
and I
way.
hear that, right? But
Mhm.
I just think back in history in terms of women, and there was a point in time where, late 1950s, 1940s, where women would go to school, but they
Just to
wouldn't
get a
actually,
husband.
just to get a husband.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, home ec was their major. Like, what the
Hmm.
hell? So I don't know. I just feel like everybody has to find their journey when that
Yeah,
journey comes.
and
And
I
not
think it's
only that, but
clear that when she
what
says that.
about adoption? What about fostering children? Like, there are so many children in this world that need a home, right? And so if you get to a point where your career is no longer satisfying you or serving you, then maybe that's an option if you're no longer able to have children on your own. I'm just saying, the way that the world is right now, there's so many things that you can do in that situation. Even her at the age of 40 is looking into being inseminated. So,
Hmm.
like, I don't know. Like, I feel like she's not the best person to say that.
But
Seeing that you were married, you had the opportunity, you did not take it, you did not have a child, you focused on your career, and now you're trying to, I don't know, it just feels like maybe it's her delivery. I think it's her
yeah, I
delivery.
think because she delivers with it with authority. Because I think if you listen
Yeah.
to the key
And you're
words,
really not. You're not.
the key wording and phrasing is still saying whatever your direction, that's your direction, right? At the end of the day. So it's not saying that she's definitely not saying all women should do that. She's definitely not saying that you're doomed if you don't, but she's telling you the realistic she's also telling some facts. And again, this is specifically to women, black women who want to partner with black men specifically. So if you
Mhm.
are open, I feel like those statistics get a lot more positive as a black woman. But if
I
you
just feel
are
like there's a little bit
Mhm.
of, like, there's a hypocrisy air flowing around here. Like, I just feel like
Mhm.
she's a little bit of a hypocrite to even be telling any generation to do anything.
And I
Um,
think anybody with sense should know that. And what she said to me personally, I was like, yeah, that's true. So anybody who knows that, like, if you're somebody who has a strong desire to have a family, like that's something you look forward to before a career or anything,
right.
then that woman is going to be already doing that. Yeah, she's already going to be on the
That's what
hunt.
she's going to
She's
be
already
looking for, because that's what she wants to do. So
but
why do
yeah.
you need to be the public announcement of it all? Why?
Yeah, well,
Because
she's
you
a content
yourself.
creator.
No, and I get
So,
that, but all right, I hear that part, but I feel
mhm,
like, your public announcement could be saved for something else that could how help the black culture and the black family. I just feel like, there's a bit of hypocrisy behind what she's saying, and I can't really take you seriously because you're still putting limitations on love and who a good man and good father is. Just because he's a high valued man or has a six-figure job doesn't mean that he'll make a great father.
mm,
So I feel like maybe
yeah.
her herself, she's still trying to narrow in as to what she really wants.
Mhm.
Because, right, I mean, look what happened last time. But let's move on from Ebony,
Yeah,
because really,
yeah,
Ebony, right now, you're getting on my
yeah.
goddamn nerve. Like, I need you to go sit down several seats, please.
Okay, so we'll move on to some lightly flavored and seasoned news. In Miss Taylor Swift and her new boo, who
And her
happens to
new
be
boo.
a Kansas City NFL football player. I heard of him before for reasons. Well, he is on Kansas City, which is actually a very popular team, and it has uh, uh, they have a popular quarterback that happens to be black on that team. So anyway, I have heard of him before he was connected to Taylor Swift, and I'm not even a football player, but
Yeah,
if you pay
I'm not
attention to
into
Super
football.
Bowls, yeah, it's very well. We talked about the politics of football. That's another
Yes,
conversation. That's a
yes.
whole another conversation.
No, not about that
We
life.
the modern day slave market. Sorry, but
Yeah,
anyway, another conversation.
alive and well.
So Travis Kelsey and Taylor Swift are now dating. She was at one of their games, and the world literally lost their minds. I mean, I was in the
Marvels.
office. I mean, I saw it on Instagram. I didn't think. I'm like, okay, they're dating. That's it. People date. She's single. Um, but the next day, everybody in the office was talking about it. It was trending on Google and Twitter and everything. And I was like, okay, like, I mean, I know Taylor Swift is very newsworthy, and
Yeah, but why
obviously
is everybody up in this girl's crotches? Like,
it's
can she
weird. It's
not?
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's like I don't see them doing that with any other white girl, like honestly, or any other, you know. I don't know. I just feel like any time this girl she goes out on a date and
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for her.
the whole world, like the girl can't even she can't even walk with the man after the game. Like Jesus. It's
So,
too much. Let her live her life.
but
Like she's a single chick, man. Like leave her
yeah,
alone.
so that's one take, and then the other take is Travis Kelsey.
Right?
He's changed his look, but his previous dating pattern was on the melanin side, if I
Sure
must
was.
say.
I'm
So he
loving my
pretty much
black woman. Yes.
all of the public women that he's dated in recent years are black women, and that's kind of how I heard of him, because people are like, about this guy. Listen, I know about him because of who he was dating, a black girl. He was on the blogs, and he looked good when she was behind the
Hmm.
scenes. Okay.
Right?
Now, I don't know
Orchestrating.
what's going on.
Hmm.
So, but here's the commentary from those in the culture, and I think it's weird, and I don't agree. But the commentary that Travis may have downgraded. And in what world? Listen, I don't even care who, what, and where you're from. In what world is Taylor Swift, even if she wasn't who she is, okay? Even if she was a woman on the street who looked exactly like how she is, but she's not a famous pop star. I objectively, she's like, in terms of that standard of like, like typical standard of beauty, she's like high on the totem pole. So I
Sure
kind of,
is.
especially for somebody, and who's in the Caucasian flavor,
Right?
that is the standard of beauty there. She's slim, blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, there's
Like,
like, that's it.
can we get
And
any more standard at this point? Like, shoot.
so I think it's kind of weird that the particularly black women are saying it. Black men are, it's a little bit more 50-50, but I think it's a little weird with black women saying it. I think it's weird. I think it's a little
Super
bit weird,
strange. Super
because you
strange.
know what, he wasn't treating that girl right anyway, for obvious reasons. So it's not like he's surprised at the end of the day, right? They're single people. Those old relationships are over. Downgrade or upgrade. He's with Taylor Swift right now, and his social capital just skyrocketed. Okay,
Right?
like
Like,
his
get rich.
jersey. Was it you telling me his jersey
Yes, his
sales?
jersey sales went up 400%. Like, what else do we need to say? Like,
Like,
what else
he's
is
winning.
there?
He's winning right now,
He's
literally and
winning.
figuratively.
That game
um,
that he was at where they were walking together behind after the game,
mhm.
that was the most televised game in all of football history. That game.
Wow.
Okay? So don't tell me he's not about his bag. He's about his
Hmm.
bag, and even if he can't stand Taylor, he's gonna hold on to her just a little bit longer because she's a bargaining tool at this point. And so I do hope that that's not what he's
I
in
hope.
it
Yeah. I
for.
don't. Yeah. Mhm.
I hope not, but I mean, he didn't have to try. You know what I mean? He doesn't even have
Yeah.
to try. They were just walking after the game. That's it. That all. And I don't. This obsession with Taylor Swift and who's in her draws. Like honestly,
It's kind of weird.
it is weird. It's really concerning because why? Why
Yeah.
her? Do you know what I mean? I
Mhm.
I just find it a little disgusting that people care so damn much.
Yeah,
Do you know
I
what I'm
agree.
saying? Like they care too damn much, if you ask me. But hey, hey, whoever's in Taylor's panties is her business. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, exactly. And as long as you're happy, do your thing. Black women, don't worry. It's okay. Let Travis be Travis.
Right?
He wasn't your man, and the only woman who, and even his ex wouldn't have anything to say because that was a mutually agreed upon dissolvement of a relationship. So let's leave it alone. And good luck to them. Hopefully it's you know,
Well,
hopefully it's
hopefully
not a
it's
disaster.
legit.
It's legit. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say about that because I know you can't ignore how much money you're making, and just it's not even like they're deep into a relationship,
It
and
looks like they just started.
they literally just started, and all this is happening already. Wow, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it's a little much, but hopefully, it doesn't hinder them from actually having a good relationship.
Hmm.
Because I want her to find love. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I do. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that she deserves it, and I think that she's been
Mm-hmm.
looking for it high and low, and she's learned about herself. And you can tell in her music that
Mm-hmm.
she's grown, as a young lady, and so, I hope for the best for her. I do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. All right, so good luck to them. We're gonna move on to some bottom of the barrel type of scum right now, and
Oh
ugh,
Lord
I hate
Jesus,
to
give
say,
me the
I'm gonna have to
strength.
say his name, Blueface. God
Dirty
damn,
face,
Dirty Fierce. Okay,
bottom,
no,
bottom itch boy, dirty boy face,
no, his name.
pedophile
Okay,
face. What you
he
want to
has
put
a
with it? I can't
he has a
stand him,
new
you see.
name. He has a new
I
name. He
can't
has a new
stand
name.
him.
His name is Dirty Face. No, sorry, that's
Dirty
his new name.
face boy, dirty face boy. If it go sit down.
And
Yeah,
so,
I can't stand him. I can't stand him, especially after
unfortunately,
this. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, Blueface is being Blueface, and
Ugh.
he recently. We all know him and Krishan. It's a real life ghetto ass soap opera on social media, and I'm tired of seeing them. And I wish the blogs would block them and not post them. But anyway, I'm not. That's another. We're not going to talk about that. But
No.
he did something absolutely abhorrent. He did something where I actually think he needs to be at least arrested, if not charged. Not charged, at least he needs to get arrested and get be shaken up in his boots because he recently posted a photo. Their son, remember we were talking about last
Yes.
week,
Mm-hmm.
Krishan was walking around with the baby,
Oh
no
God.
baby's neck swinging here and there, not carrying what do you call those things where they put the baby inside the harness in front of you? What do they call those things? Like, and they have names, like
Oh, I don't remember. I'd never used
yeah,
one of
it's
those.
too long. Oh,
I was
okay, but
like,
anyway, they call
carrier.
them some.
I don't
We'll
know.
just call it a carrier for now. They have like some cutesy name
Yeah,
that
but
some brand.
the one that she had that baby in wasn't
Hmm,
the new ones that they have now. It's pretty much a fabric, and it just
hmm.
wraps around you and the baby can fit snugly.
Yeah, it snugs you. Yeah.
What she had is like a typical, back in the day type of carrier. You just strapped it onto the front of you.
Hmm.
Um, Either way, the baby was flinging around like a rag doll. Like it didn't even
Yeah,
look
the
strapped
neck.
in.
It looked
So
really bad, and we all know that if there's one thing, even if you're not comfortable, one thing with a new baby, everybody I feel knows 90%. I'm gonna assume, maybe it's just me, but you have to carry the baby's head. You have to make sure the neck is braced. Anyway, following that, Blueface posted a picture, and she came on and she was talking about he has a hernia and he needs to do surgery. It wasn't because of that. But some people were making a bad connection. But if anybody has sense, hernia is in the abdomen. Anyway, and so he posted the picture of the baby with his hernia exposed and his little baby bits exposed without
my
his
God.
diaper. And you could see the hernia,
Ugh.
and supposedly, I mean, every image that I've seen, it's his bits are covered, thank God, but still, it was out there publicly, and
Yeah, but it wasn't Blueface that covered it. It was
other
everybody
the
else
media
that
outlet,
saw the
yeah.
picture and that had more sense than the father of the flipping child to
Mm,
cover the little boy's crotches. Really? Not even the father can think that to himself. You know what? I am starting to believe that Blueface is gay. I'll put it out there.
Mm-mm,
I don't give a shit who wants to say nothing. That man is gay. I feel like he
mm-mm.
has gay tendencies. I feel like he does things that would, it's like he's very fascinated and overly worried about gay culture, especially with his other son. Every two
Mm.
flipping seconds you see a
Yeah,
video
he
of
full
him asking
asking
his
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 son. That's
like his
weird
son is
too.
all 5 years old. I don't even think he
Yes.
knows what that means, good.
Yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
asking him that? And then when they had that video of the strippers clapping their cheeks in the living room, like what the hell are these people, like,
These
honestly?
strange women in his living room, and you want like he's
And
5.
he's 5 and he's looking for a Slim Jim. You understand? The man hungry. You go into the pantry, it's just the Slim Jim. They're using the pantry like laundry room. You understand?
But
And
anyway,
you're asking him if he's gay. So what is this fascination and just constant gay talk? Like, it's really disgusting. And then you want to put your son's private parts up on the internet, Richard. Like you're looking like, a chitch over here. You're chitching. You're chitching
oh
out.
Lord.
I can't. I'm sorry. I just had to, because
So
I
he
can't,
posted,
man. It's
and
a
this is and
child.
it's bad enough he posted it, and then
It's
what
a
he accompanied it.
child. It's a
What he
child. What are
ac-
you doing this? And even if you want the world to see his hernia, why? Why is it important for us to see his hernia? Do you know how fatal a hernia could be if it's not treated and it's not taken care of? This is the baby. Mind you, when you're born, that's how you get a belly button. Okay? Is they
Mhm.
tie up your insides to stay inside of you. And this child has been everywhere. Him can't stay in him house. His
Mhm.
mother is bringing him out left, right, and damn center. And now his damn father is posting him all over the damn media, all his business. Like, come on.
So he
Oh,
posted it,
sorry. I had
and
to
he
rant,
said, "This
people.
is yeah, it's okay.
Ooh,
He's pretty sick.
it is.
This
It's
is
disgusting.
this is what my son's dick looks like,
Like,
and
come on.
she's worried about me and little baby cock. Like his sentences are bad, bitch. Like, get our son cock right, then do what you want." This is what he posted, along with posted his son's bits on the internet. Like, why was he not arrested? Like, this is sick. And I agree with you. We all know that there's both trauma on both sides, and it's just a cauldron of toxicity. But everybody, I don't know why. Honestly, child services, I kind of want you to step in because
Well, here's the
something.
thing with that, right? Is
Mm,
that it's been said and rumored, and now I believe
mm,
that what's her name? Jaden Alexis, she has family members that are in children's aid. And so that's why they're not, nothing's happening. Because I don't understand how these people can constantly post their children all over the damn internet. And nobody stop and say, ma'am, what you're posting is a concern. What's
mhm.
going on in your household is a concern. How we see these children being neglected. And yes, I will say neglected, because why is your son trying to go into the pantry looking for a Slim Jim while you're outside seeing some girl clap cheeks in front of your face? Like, really, in your living room, bro, where your other little baby rolls around and all sorts of things. The little baby, the girl that she has,
Mhm.
she's crawling, walking, touching, doing all these things, and you have some skanky ass women who are there booty clapping cheeks in your living room. Like, come on. This is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous that these people are going on this way. And you know what, Krishan? I'm sorry, girl. I don't have grace for you on this one, because
Mm-mm.
it is your responsibility as that child's mother to make sure that child stays safe. And you are too caught up in the hype and the clout and the this and the that. You're fooled and twisted by this damn man and his fuckery. Like, honestly, you have lost your sense to the point where, I'm sorry, Krishan, you're partially to blame why your son's penis is on the damn internet. You are, because you're so enamored by this fool that before you go sit down for the next 6 weeks, okay, with your child, Okay? You're already talking about trying to have another one with him. Okay? So I'm sorry. At this point, Krishan, you ain't got no more grace from me, girl. I know you had a hard life. Everything was hard and everything. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that got you so far. But now your child is being posted all around the place. And you know what? You put the idea in Blueface's head that it's okay because you've been doing it. You can't
Well, what
sit
I
down and go heal with your child. Right? Like you've been showing him that you have turned your own baby into a commodity. That's the straight truth. Don't let me get heated on these people because
no.
honestly, that's what she showed. The baby wasn't in a week old and he has his own Instagram. The baby wasn't a week old, and the one good. She went out there. She put made sure the child's soul, got him blessed and everything. Kudos to you. But everything that you did after that has spiraled. So I don't have any more. I don't have any more empathy for you. You constantly keep going back to this man, not realizing that as this little baby's mother, you decided to bring this child into this world. Okay, you did. And before you brought this child, you were bragging about how many children you killed. Okay? So now that you have one, you're going to make that child's life a living hell while he's here? Miss me with it. I ain't got no more love for you, girl. I'm sorry. I don't have no
Mm-mm.
more grace for you. It's your responsibility. This is what you need to protect that child's physical being, his mental being, his soul, everything, all of the above. And unfortunately, you gave Blueface the okay that this type of nonsense is okay because you can't seem to sit down with your child. Sorry, I had to
Yeah.
let it out because little
No. Yeah.
baby, like, come on, bro, it's a baby. Like the baby isn't even a month old. Star, the baby hasn't even had a chance to really open his eyes up good to see the world, and he's already all plastered all over the damn. Come on, bro, this can't be.
Hmm.
These people are sick. They're
Sick.
sick because all of this is for $1. You understand?
And
They're
ruining their child's
they're
life.
already trying to ruin this child, and he's not even a month old. How is it that not even a week old he has Instagram? What? Nah, fam, the child can't even open his eyes to the world. Yet you got him plastered in the world. Miss me with it. Anyways,
Mm.
come off of this with these
Yeah,
people.
we'll come off of it. Yeah, so
I'm
very dark.
just.
So yeah, and just to close it off, this Dutty Face had the nerve to say his phone was stolen and hacked. We know you're stupid and sick enough to do that,
Whatever.
buddy. But anyway, so that is our main things we were going to talk about. I think we were going to do what I'm watching, but I'll move past that, and we could do that on our next episode. And we'll just get what are we gonna do now, Kim?
The
The call out.
Yes, and so here's where we put each other in the hot seat. We ask each other a question, and we gotta answer it. So sometimes they're spicy, sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're all sorts of things. So this time around, I'm gonna go ahead with my question first, and that is, okay, if you could see into the future, what is one industry that you think will be obsolete? I'll go first.
What?
Give you
Go
or
ahead.
no, if you have an answer, go ahead,
No,
girl.
no, no, no.
Okay.
I was just gonna do a and a ha. Go ahead.
So while you're thinking about that, I'm gonna say the service industry.
Oh yeah, long time. Yeah.
The service industry is on it. It's on its way out. It's
Mm.
on its way out, right? Because right. So the other day I took my daughter to McDonald's.
Mhm.
And I mean, we don't usually have McDonald's all the time. I'm not about
Mhm.
that life, ingesting plastic. But moving on, I found that there were less people serving and being of service and more electronics involved.
Yes.
Way more. Then I went, you go shopping and all this stuff, right? And so everywhere you go is a checkout. Self checkout, right? Now they're changing these. At first, when they rolled it out, the checkout machines, your self checkout machines, only took cards.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're taking cash. So no one needs to count nothing. No one needs to count anything. I remember when I worked at the movie theater, and at the end of the night, you had to count out your till,
Yeah.
right? Because humans are humans. And so you had a $2 grace. So you could either be up $2 or down $2, but it couldn't be more than $2. Well, guess what? Now they have a machine doing all that. So
Mm.
it's always going to be on point. There will never ever be a shortage. There will never be that they've collected too much. So I'm slowly starting to see, I mean, we all are, right?
Mm.
But what I'm slowly starting to see is that they're advancing. They're advancing. They're getting better and can handle more and more tasks that you would need a human being to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so with that said, if I could see into the future, that is definitely an industry that's on its way out. So
Yeah.
anybody who's in the service industry, and I mean anybody, I mean if you're in hotels, if you're, because there'll be self check-ins. Just now you go to the airport, you can check yourself in. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So before you know it, hotels, movies, food, anything that involves people of service to you, that includes going to get your driver's license. Those people's at the wicket, they're included.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody hates them anyway.
right. Passport people who can't seem to move faster than a slug or a sloth, they're moved slow as ever, right, in the passport office. But I'm saying these jobs obsolete. Just now, they're improving the technology to the point where any little task that a human would be needed for, you don't need them.
Yeah.
And
I feel
yeah,
like that encompasses a lot of the jobs I would have thought of anyway, because like all, yeah, like to your point, all the service jobs, like travel agents, all those things, like everything I could think of actually does fall under service. Like even a bank teller, I would say that's
yeah,
service.
yeah.
Um,
And I'm seeing less and less of them in the damn bank because
here's
they don't.
one. Okay, here's one. With the onslaught of AI, like obviously
Yeah.
machines
Mm-hmm.
are, but with the onslaught of AI, like copywriters.
Oh yeah, big time.
I think copywriters are going to they're going to slip into obsoletism
Yep.
soon,
Yep.
because if you have AI that can do all correct, like you can, if your grammar or your writing is not that clean or sharp, all you could do is summarize what you're trying to say, and AI will pretty much spit out a clean version of that. So before, that's how we had copywriter. You'd pay copywriters because obviously they've studied and done all the things to make sure that their writing is clean and succinct and to the point. But
Mm-hmm.
with the onslaught of AI, I think copywriters, yeah, they are going to soon fall off.
And my second notable mention would be,
Mm.
you see all you rappers. You see all you rappers.
Oh no, Kim.
What? They have
Okay,
AI for
okay,
Drake already, bro. They already
no,
have an AI
I'll
for
let you.
Drake.
I'll let you finish. I'll let you finish.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Right? Because these AI, they have albums and shit. Okay. So, like, I'm just saying, it could become obsolete, because all they need is voice recognition. All they need is to have your voice, and they can implant that in anything. When I'm hearing that Drake has an AI that is actually making music, I'm like, what? Okay, this is not good. This is not good. But I don't know. It's an honorable mention for me. That's how I feel about that. But
Um.
well, you're gonna let me finish.
Uh.
Wait.
As a lover of the arts,
Me too.
um, not possible.
I pray to
But
God.
they will. But they will try. They're gonna try. They're gonna
Well,
definitely
they
try.
are
To your point,
trying. They are
yes,
trying
they're
right
gonna
now.
try. And we probably will see some version of iteration of that in the next 20 years. But I think as a singer, rapper, or whatever, all of them will be in jeopardy. That's the real future, and I would hope with our generation, the real thing isn't going to go away. But for two generations under us, I do agree that might be real life.
Well, this is why it's an honorable mention for me, because
It
technology
could
is
be, yeah, for
advancing
sure.
beyond our scope of understanding how
Mm,
it's advancing. It really is,
yeah,
and so you never
yeah.
know. But what's your question for me, girl?
Okay, so this one is so there's currently a little bit of in the Caribbean community there's a little drama happening online, and it always pops up every once in a while, but pretty much Major Hype was on the podcast and
That's my boy.
they were talking about curry goat versus chicken curry goat versus curry chicken versus chicken curry. And then he went on a rant because Guyanese people are the only people who say chicken curry.
Yep,
um,
pretty much.
and then he was like pretty much saying, well, jokingly or not, I don't. Well, he did come off a kind of serious, but I don't know. He's like, yeah, Guyana is Guyanese people, and Guyana is not even the Caribbean. They're not even Caribbean.
Thank you.
We're lucky we even claim them. They're in South America. Da 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 da. And that is true,
It is.
but
That's that geography. I can't help you.
geography. I think
Okay.
geographically that is true. However, there was a counter argument, um, done by a Belizean, because Belize is another um country or island that is they identify as Caribbean, but it is located in Central America.
Mm-hmm.
But their culture is very much like the Caribbean, and in fact, there was when it was just still coming out of colonialism, or it was still in colonialism, they actually brought a lot of the English Caribbean people to kind of set things up and civilize that area with those folks, and bring the British system there. So a lot of Jamaican people, Trinidadian people. So that is the only Central American country where English is the dominant language. So
Mm-hmm.
both and for both of those countries, because they're both colonized by the English. So just some historical. So her argument, and I actually what am I gonna say? Spoiler alert, is culturally,
Mm-hmm.
geographically, yes, these countries are in South and Central America. But
Mm-hmm.
culturally, the food, the way they speak, um, they're Caribbean, and
Yeah.
they are represented in CARICOM, which
Mm-hmm.
is the Caribbean community, the Caribbean like governing body, and
Mm-hmm.
they also are a part of the Caribbean education system.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
culturally, I'll say they're Caribbean, and yes,
Right.
geographically they're not located in the Caribbean, but they claim their Caribbean identity based on culture. So that is
Right.
my question to you: is do you believe Guyana, and by extension Belize, those people are Caribbean?
Mm.
Wait, you think so long about this? Oh, you
Right?
really have this must be an issue. I'm interested. I'm curious now.
Well, in my mind, I'm going to say you're invited to the cookout. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
no,
you're
you're pulling a
invited to the
major hype.
cookout. They are, man. I listen, my lover doubles, no jokes. But all jokes aside. No, I think culturally, um that's why I have to think about it, because when I think of Guyanese people, a lot of them don't follow the culture of the West Indies. A lot of them, yeah, they might have the language, they might have, some of the foods, but a lot of them are deep rooted in Indian roots. So I find it hard to say that. Belize people, uh, they're not Caribbean, but they're invited to the cookout. They can come to the cookout. They can come to the festival. They can. But
Why do you say that?
I don't feel like they're a part. I don't know. I feel that's where I'm at. That's where I'm stumped, is because a part of me wants to say that, like Guyana, for instance, is deeply rooted in Indian culture. Very much.
Yes. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
much so. Belize people, more of more Spaniard culture. So I find it hard to say. But then when you go to the West Indies, the cultures vary. Like in terms
Yeah,
of
of
what they're
course.
rooted in,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
Like Jamaica, we know right off the bat, Africa, right off the rip. Um,
Hmm.
but there's, because they were kind of, man, these slave masters, man, they done
Mm.
mess with our shit, because they took us and they went to, Haiti, they went to Jamaica, and I feel like there's stronger roots to Africa in those countries. Then you start to, like, even with my dad being from Grenada,
Mm.
there's a high French
Yes.
influence, right?
Hmm.
And so, but culturally speaking, they still remind you of, Jamaica or Trinidad, um Barbados, and places like that. They still remind you of that. But each island kind of, they have an influence that's a little different,
Mm.
that's not always, I don't know. See, that's the thing. I don't know. Whenever I know a lot of Guyanese people, and a lot of them are very much Indian,
Yeah.
Hindu type style things, Muslim, or not necessarily Muslim, but I would say Hindu, you
Yeah.
know.
So some of them. No, I know some. I know some Muslim Guyanese people.
Me too, right? But
Mm.
that's the thing, even with Guyana, there's a mix. There's black and
Mm.
then there's Indian, like culturally
Yeah.
speaking.
Mm.
So a part of me doesn't feel like they're part of the West Indies. I'm sorry, Guyana. You can call me out whatever you want to call me.
Oh
You guys,
no.
you're a part of a continent, okay? Right? When you're in the middle of the ocean, right? Then we can have a conversation, because
Damn.
you're not an island. You're not an island,
Okay, but that's the geography. I was saying culturally,
right? And that's the
which
geography.
you've
No, but
explained. Yeah.
I feel like being in the island is vastly different than being on the coast of a continent.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
island people, they have to make use of what's on that island. Do you know what I'm saying? See, this is where I'm stumped. So this is the first time in, Hearts and Minds where Jeanette has got me stumped on a
And I hear
question.
him thinking this was going to be an easy one.
Nah, because it's
I thought it would be easy.
but I will say one thing. It's curry chicken. Stop the madness.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it.
Stop the madness. Okay, it's curry chicken. You have to describe what kind of chicken you're making, right? And it doesn't, like, in terms of subject and predicate, like, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, what do you think? Let me hear this. Let me
No,
hear
I
this.
stated the beginning of like before I passed it on. I'm like, yeah, I do think culturally they are aligned with the Caribbean culture.
Yeah, and they can definitely come to the cookout. You know what I'm saying? They can come to the festival. They can be there. But a
But
part,
I guess the
yeah,
difference between what I'm seeing and what you're saying is that they're already they can invite people to the cookout too. Like they're at the cookout already.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference between what you're saying and what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, especially if you want to call it chicken curry. I mean,
I
but
guess yeah, you're like on Major Hype's flex.
totally, because he's major hype is Jamaican. I don't care. Nobody wants to say he doesn't want to reveal it. But boy, you put down that patois too good for me, sir. So no, I honestly think that he's Jamaican.
He is Jamaican. Yeah, he has
Well,
said
he
that.
hasn't confirmed it. I've never heard him confirm it. He
Yeah,
lets
he is.
people
Yeah.
think what they want, right? Because I've seen him in several interviews and he won't confirm it. He won't say definitively, I'm with this or that. But I'm sorry.
I'm 100%
He's
sure he's
Jamaican.
Jamaican. Yeah, he is. And
100%.
I'm sure I've seen somewhere where he's like acknowledged that.
So, right. But even, if we really wanted to get deep on that, and we should have this conversation one day, but, there's Jamaica and then everybody else.
Oh, Lux, let the people come for us now.
Well, come for us and listen to the opinion. Listen, you don't have to agree, Regin, but yo, we done did the thing, B. Because I was having this discussion the other day with hubby, and I said to him, because he's a calypso head, like he likes calypso and soca and all that, and so do I. I do too. However, reggae trumps all, because at the end of the day, reggae put everybody else up on the map. Yes, we did. And you can say whatever the hell you want to say. Yes, I know they had calypso going and all such a thing. But they had but they had it in the island. And that's it. It was Jamaica that went international.
Well, yeah, you said, I think that's a whole can of worms that I'm not going to touch right now.
No, we're not going to touch it right now, but one day we should, because, I can say this and speak freely on it because I have a mixture. Do you know what I mean? Like, my dad is from Grenada and my mom is from Jamaica. And I'm sorry, but international influence, I'm not talking about Dada in the islands. I'm talking about international. Okay? Where people in Germany know your music. Right? And I know people who are even in Canada who have never heard calypso before. Right? So I'm just saying, everybody knows a Bob Marley though. Okay? Bob Marley frequented Switzerland. Okay? So everybody knows Bob Marley though. Okay? So I'm just saying, but
these are spicy comments. These are too spicy.
I'm just saying, right now. I'm both. So I can see, I'm in calypso too. But when you try to put calypso up against reggae, internationally speaking, let's just put that out there.
I agree. I agree. But, but it's true. It's a touchy subject.
Yeah, just like chicken curry is touchy, Regin, because I don't know what listen, Regin. Lord. You have to tell me what y'all make first. You're making curry. Now what kind? You understand? Chickpea, chicken, which one? Beef, what do you want? You have to tell me first. But I think altogether, island people can all stand with island people.
Yes.
Period. Because when we go abroad, when we come off them islands there and we go abroad,
they all look the same. You all look the same to them.
We're all the same to everybody else. That's just the realness. But one thing I will say before we wrap up was that I just hate the fact that everybody always assumes that if you have an accent that's not just Canadian, you gotta be Jamaican. Everybody is Jamaican. Okay? And it's like, why is that? Why does everybody assume that's the first country or first island that you would be a part of? Is it because we're international? Yes. And with that being said, set the record straight. Okay. But with that being said, we did enjoy this show. And we hope that all of your hearts and your minds were activated. And so we're asking everybody to stay passionate and stay thoughtful. And we'll holler back at you real soon. Bye.
Bye.